Hi friends! This week, I'm trying air dry clay. I've seen so many cool projects made with it, and I've had enough of a break since my experience with eraser clay that I'm ready to try clay again. I know a lot of people use this Das brand, but I'm going to use this Crayola air dry clay, mostly because I already have it. The first thing I'm going to try to sculpt is a little trinket dish. I see a lot of these on Instagram, and not only are they really cute, but they seem like they might be sort of easy to start with. I was trying to think of an easy shape to sculpt when I remembered these blobby creatures that I drew in a Create This Book episode. So I sketched out a little shape.
That's a star.
No, it's a blob with a head, arms, and legs.
It's a star.
No, it's a blob with a bow. Fine, it's a star with a bow. I also saw this one account on Instagram that made a little figurine to match the dish, so I'm going to try to make one of those too.
A small star with a bow?
So I've got my water and clay, and lots of tools, and no idea what to do with them.
Huh?
Let's do it! I'm just going to rip off a big hunk and start mushing it around in my hand. Dipping my hands in water seems like a thing people do, so I'll do it too. It does seem to make the clay stickier, though. Eventually, after getting clay on everything, I was able to roll it out into a flat slab. I traced out my blob,
Star.
and cut around it with one of the tools. Then I used some more water to smooth out the edges. So far, so good. Next, let's work on this bow. This is where things start to go wrong. I'm struggling. Well, why not just dip the whole chunk of clay in the water?
Just keep making stuff up as you go along, you lunatic.
Eventually, I got something vaguely bow-shaped and slapped that right on the blob. And let's use this random pointy tool to smush it together and blend the edges. This bow is looking as lumpy as my backside, so let's throw even more water on it. Now to add the lip. I'm just going to make some snakes and lay those on there. More water, more pointy tools, and more smushing. I can't even begin to describe to you what I'm doing here because, honestly, I don't even know. I tried putting the piece up on the clay bucket so that I could see the edges better without picking it up and handling it too much. Oh my god, there's so much water. That star is wet. I finally finished this piece by cutting in some fold lines on the bow.
Yep, that'll fix it.
Next for the little figurine. I tried to sculpt the star shape.
Ha!
I tried to sculpt the shape with my hands instead of cutting it out with a pattern. Again, I used an insane amount of water to smooth it out. I made another bow that actually looks worse than the first, and then I jammed that on. I fumbled around with it for a while until it seemed secure. And that's about as good as I think I can make it look. Last, I decided to try a little planter. I see so many people make these cute little planters, and it can't be that hard, right? Warning, this is about to get real ugly. It's best if you leave now. You're still here? I mean, if you enjoy train wrecks, here we go. I decided that it would be easiest to form the planter around an existing shape, so I decided to use a vitamin jar that I already had. But I wanted to be able to remove the jar easily, so I put a plastic baggie over it to help it slide out of the clay easier. Then I just started smashing some clay on there. Oh god, this is a massacre. What am I doing? This looks like a gift Bella left in the backyard. Here I'm just rubbing some water on it. hoping it will magically smooth out. For some reason, I thought this looked good enough to remove the jar and keep working. Oh sweet, it fell apart immediately. A+ work, self. Water, smush, and repeat. Oh hey, let me just add some more clay. What is that? That can't be right. Now I'm cutting around the edges, trying to even out the top. These two lumps at the top are going to be ears. I'm not sure why I thought this was a good filming angle, but that's me adding a nose and a tail to make this a pig. Here it is after a day of drying. It's so bad. The ears are uneven and the whole body is lumpy. It looks more like a melted bowl than a planter. Let's give our eyes a break and see how the other pieces came out. The trinket dish came out a little better, but it did curl up while it was drying, and I have no idea why. Also, it has these sort of sharp edges on the bottom, where it's spread out on the wax paper that it was drying on. The figurine sort of curled a little too, and it's got fingerprints all over it. I'm going to try to sand these to see if I can smooth them out a little bit. I'm not sure if it's actually helping the stars, but there's definitely not enough sandpaper in the world to help Princess Pork. I wiped them down afterwards with a wet paper towel to get rid of the sanding dust, and it sort of made the clay seem moist again, so I don't know if that was the right choice or not. By this point, I was feeling pretty defeated with my creations, but I decided to finish them anyway. It'll be good to have them to look back on as a starting point. For the dish, I went with a blue body and a pink bow. Then I decided to embrace its true identity as a star and continue it with a sky theme. I added purple clouds to the bow and a moon and stars to the body.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
And somehow I forgot that this was originally supposed to have a face. I liked it so much I repeated this on the little figurine friend.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
The pig I'm going to paint pink and add a little blush to her cheeks. Her nose, ears, and tail are a slightly darker shade of pink. And her face says...
What are you looking at?
So, to make her feel a little better and to play up her best asset, she's going to get a nice little bow on her butt. To protect these priceless works of art, I sealed them up with some varnish. Despite my sarcasm, I actually think I did okay for my first time with air dry clay. A solid C-. But I definitely could get better and could probably stand to do a little research. But I don't totally hate what I made. I'm even pretty fond of Princess Pork. She's really grown on me. That's all for this week. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.